Hey everyone, before we start today, I want to talk about something different. Usually, when people open YouTube, they're looking for entertainment, a distraction, or just something to watch while they're eating or relaxing. But today, I wanted to talk about mental health. Not because I'm some expert or because I have all the answers, but because I think it's something that affects almost everyone, and it's not talked about enough. A lot of people are struggling with things that nobody else knows about. Some people are dealing with stress, some people are dealing with loneliness, some people are dealing with anxiety about the future, and some people are trying their best just to make it through each day. The thing is, when you're going through something difficult mentally, it can feel like you're the only person experiencing it. You look around and everyone else seems happy, everyone else seems confident, everyone else seems like they have everything figured out. But the truth is, most people are fighting battles that nobody can see. And because we only see what's on the outside, we assume everyone else has it easier than we do. I also think that social media has made this even harder. Every day we're shown the best moments of other people's lives, their accomplishments, their vacations, their relationships, and their highlights. But we almost never see the bad days. We don't see the nights where they're worried. We don't see their mistakes. We don't see the moments where they doubt themselves. And because of that, it's easy to start comparing ourselves. We start asking questions like, why am I not successful as them? Why am I not as talented as them? Why am I not as confident as them? But comparison is a trap because you're comparing your entire life to someone else's best moments. And that's almost never a fair comparison. Everyone has struggles. Everyone has insecurities. Everyone has moments where they feel like they're not enough. Another thing I think a lot of people deal with is self-doubt. The voice in your head that tells you you're not good enough. The voice that says you're going to fail. The voice that tells you to not even try because what's the point? The problem is that the more you listen to that voice, the stronger it gets. And eventually, it starts controlling the choices you make. You stop taking chances. You stop believing in yourself. You stop chasing goals because you're afraid of failing. But here's something I realized. Failure isn't the opposite of success. Failure is part of success. Every person you admire has failed. Every athlete, every musician, every creator, every successful person you can think of has made mistakes. The difference is they kept going. They didn't let one bad moment decide their future. And I think that's something all of us need to remember. A bad day isn't a bad life. A mistake isn't your identity. A setback isn't the end of your story. Sometimes life gets hard. Sometimes things don't go according to plan. Sometimes you lose. Sometimes people disappoint you. Sometimes you even disappoint yourself. But those moments don't define who you are. What defines you is what you do next. Do you give up or do you keep moving forward? Because growth usually happens when things are difficult. Growth happens when you're challenged. Growth happens when you keep going even when you don't feel like it. And that's not easy. There are days when motivation disappears. There are days when you feel tired. There are days when you question whether your effort is even worth it. But progress isn't about being motivated every day. Progress is about continuing even when motivation isn't there. One step, one day, one decision at a time. I also think people underestimate how important it is to talk to someone. All of us try to carry everything by ourselves. We tell ourselves nobody will understand. We tell ourselves we're bothering people. We tell ourselves we can handle it alone. But sometimes the strongest thing a person can do is ask for help. Talking doesn't make you weak. Being honest doesn't make you weak. Having emotions doesn't make you weak. Emotions is what makes you human. And if you're listening to this right now and you've been having a rough time lately, I want you to hear this. You are not a failure. You are not broken. You are not defined by your worst day. You are not defined by your mistakes. You are not defined by what other people think about you. You still have value. You still matter. And your future is bigger than whatever you're facing right now. Life changes. People change. Situations change. The way you feel today is not necessarily how you'll feel forever. That's why it's important to keep going. Even when progress feels slow, even when things aren't perfect, even when you're struggling, keep going. Because you never know what opportunities, friendships, experiences, and memories are waiting for you in the future. You don't need to have everything figured out today. Nobody does. You don't need to be perfect. Nobody is. You just need to keep moving forward, little by little, brick by brick, day by day. And eventually, those small steps will become something bigger that you never expected. Speaking of pressure and self-doubt, that actually brings me to goals. Because I think a lot of people struggle with chasing something they care about. Something I've been thinking about lately is goals. Everybody talks about goals. People say you should have goals, chase your dreams, work hard, and never quit. But nobody really talks about how frustrating goals can be. Because sometimes you want something really badly, and it feels like you're getting nowhere. You put in effort, you spend time practicing, you try to improve, and then you look around and somebody else seems way ahead of you. Whether it's sports, school, video games, or anything else, it's so easy to feel discouraged. I think that's where a lot of people quit. Not because they aren't capable, not because they don't have talent, but because progress takes longer than they expected. We live in a world where everyone wants results immediately. If we don't see improvement after a few days, we think something is wrong. But most big goals take months, or even years. The people we admire usually spent a long time improving before anyone noticed them. And that's the hard part. Working when nobody is watching, improving when nobody is giving you credit, staying consistent when it feels like nothing is happening. I think that's what separates people who reach their goals from people who don't. Not talent, not luck, consistency. The ability to keep showing up even on bad days, even when you're tired, even when you don't feel motivated. Because motivation comes and goes. Some days you'll feel unstoppable, other days you feel like doing absolutely nothing. If your success depends entirely on motivation, you're gonna have a hard time. The people who achieve great things aren't motivated every day. They're disciplined. They do the work anyway. Another thing I've learned is that goals don't have to be huge. Sometimes people think every goal has to be life-changing, but small goals matter too. Improving 1% every day adds up. Reading a little more, practicing a little more, working out a little more, learning a little more. Those small improvements can completely change your life over time. And even if you fail sometimes, that's okay. Failure isn't proof that you should stop. Failure is proof that you're trying. Nobody succeeds without messing up. And I mean nobody. So if you have a goal right now, whether it's big or small, keep going. You don't need to become amazing overnight. You just need to keep moving forward, one step at a time. And when you're thinking about goals, it's almost impossible not to think about the future too. A lot of us set goals because we're trying to build a better future for ourselves, but sometimes thinking about the future can be exciting and scary at the same time. And honestly, I think a lot of people are nervous about it, especially when you're younger. Everyone keeps asking what you want to do with your life, what career you want, where you want to live, what your plans are. And sometimes the truth is, you just don't know, and that's completely normal. I think a lot of people feel pressure to have everything figured out, but if we're being real, most people don't. Even adults don't always know what exactly they're doing. Life isn't some straight path where everything goes according to plan. Things change, people change, dreams change. The person you are today might not be the same person you are 5 years from now, and that's okay. I think one of the biggest mistakes people make is being so worried about the future that they forget to enjoy the present. They're always thinking about what comes next, the next grade, the next year, the next goal, the next achievement, and before they know it, they've spent their years worrying instead of living. That's not saying you shouldn't plan ahead. Having goals is important, but don't let tomorrow steal today. Nobody knows exactly what's going to happen. Life is unpredictable. Sometimes opportunities show up when you least expect them. Sometimes setbacks happen when everything seems perfect. But that's just part of life. The future isn't something we can control completely. What we can control is what we do right now. The choices we make, the habits we build, the way we treat people, the effort we put into things. Those small decisions shape the future more than we realize. I also think it's important to remember that you don't need to have everything figured out right now. It's okay to learn as you go. It's okay to change your mind. It's okay to be uncertain. You're growing. You're learning. You're becoming the person you're going to be. And that's a process. If you're worried about the future, just focus on the next step, not the next 100 steps. Just the next one. Because eventually those small steps become a path. And before you know it, you've gone farther than you've ever imagined. The future can be scary, but it can also be exciting. Because no matter what's happened in your life so far, there are still chapters that haven't been written yet. There are still opportunities you haven't seen, people you haven't met, places you haven't gone, memories you haven't made. And that's something to look forward to. Another thing that's been on my mind lately is friendships. I think friendships have a bigger impact on our lives than we sometimes realize. Friendships can be one of the best parts of life. Having people you can laugh with, talk to, and make memories with is something really valuable. But friendships can also be complicated. Sometimes people drift apart. Sometimes people move away. Sometimes people change. And sometimes friendships end completely. When you're younger, it feels like your friends aren't going to be around forever. But as time passes, you start realizing that not every friendship lasts forever. And honestly, that's okay. Just because a friendship ends doesn't mean it wasn't important. Some people are meant to be part of your life for years. Others are only meant to be part of a chapter. I think one of the most important things is appreciating the people who are in your life right now. Tell your friends you appreciate them. Spend time with them. Make memories. Because time moves faster than you think. One day, you'll look back and realize those random moments hanging out were actually some of the best memories. And speaking of time moving fast, that's something else I've been thinking about a lot lately. Growing up. Growing up is weird. When you're a kid, you always want to be older. You want more freedom. You want more independence. You want people to take you seriously. But the older you get, the more you realize that growing up comes with responsibilities too. You start thinking more about the future. You start thinking more about your goals. You start thinking about who you want to become. And honestly, it can be a little scary sometimes. One thing I've noticed is how fast time moves. A year sounds like a long time until it's gone. Then another year passes. Then another. Before you know it, things that felt recent become memories. I think that's why it's important to enjoy where you are right now. It's good to have goals. It's good to think about the future. But don't spend so much time looking ahead that you forget to appreciate today. The people around you right now, the experiences you're having right now, the memories you're making right now. Because one day, today's normal moments will become the moments you miss. Growing up isn't about having everything figured out. It's about learning, making mistakes, improving, and becoming a little better every day. Before I end this video, I just want to say thank you for listening. Whether you watched the whole thing or only part of it, I appreciate you being here. I know videos like this are different from the usual Minecraft content, but I wanted to talk about things that I think a lot of people can relate to. We talked about mental health, goals, friendship, growing up, and the future. And if there's one thing I hope you take away from all this, it's that you don't have to have everything figured out right now. Nobody does. Life is full of uncertainty, it's full of mistakes, it's full of setbacks, but it's also full of opportunities, growth, memories, and experiences that you haven't had yet. No matter where you are in life right now, keep moving forward. Keep learning. Keep improving. Keep believing in yourself, even on the days when it's difficult. And don't forget to appreciate the people around you and the moments you're living through right now. One day, the things that seem normal today might become some of your favorite memories. Thank you for spending time with me today. Take care of yourselves, take care of the people around you, and I'll see you all in the next video. Peace.